Okay, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I wanted to further elaborate about what I was just discussing in the previous video. So I'll make this a part two video, make it a little series. Yeah, so anyway, this Charlie Z dude that I've, followed on YouTube for a good while now. It's been an intriguing thing. I mean, they should make a movie on this guy. He's a real character. I don't consider myself like the heck. What's with this? This thing's pissing me off. I don't really consider myself like a hater of the dude. But I'm not. I really can't say that I'm a fan either. Like I kind of was in the beginning, actually. I used to feel bad for the guy actually, like between the Hartley loss and then seeing that video where Oleg Hood and his friends were bullying him that time. I felt bad for him. I was actually a fan, but then it all started to change. Like when I seen him against Floyd Mayweather Sr. When they were boxing and then like he if you see that, if you watch that Charlie Zelenoff versus Floyd Mayweather Sr. Zelenoff gets all tired out quick, and old Floyd gets him to step out of the ring, step out of the ropes. I mean, that's an automatic DQ or TKO, either one. And then Zelenoff, when Floyd's walking away, he starts punching at him. And now at that point, I was just like, oh, man, that's really messed up. That's so uncool, man. Like, how could you do that, Really? I mean, that's just no class. So at that point, I wasn't a fan anymore. I just became, much more towards boo than come on, come on, come on. That's how I was before. But then after that, I was just all boo, I just, but I still wasn't really a hater because I could see obviously he has things going on in his head. He does, it's pretty obvious he needs help and stuff, But I don't know if meds could really help him, though. I think he really needs a better, like, form of guidance. I mean, I've seen videos of his dad, and he seems like a really nice guy, actually. He seems like a really good, all-around, well-rounded individual, his dad, He seems to be all there and everything, Seems like a nice guy. Seems like a really likable individual. So that's what really perplexes me. I don't know. I mean, it just seems like this Charlie Zelenoff guy. He really needs a certain type of tough love, discipline type of role model figure. Whatever you want to call it, I don't really want to say father figure because he already has a dad, and his dad seems like a really cool, nice, likable guy. But Charlie Zelenoff, though, he needs somebody to really set the right example, be like a proper role model and just show him the way how to conduct himself in society. And I've made posts on certain videos. I've made comment posts. I was really emphasizing that in a couple of my posts, at least two or three, I was saying he should really like just get a job. I mean, especially if he doesn't like to train properly, like I was saying in the first video, you know, I was saying, you know, he needs to like run and do regular boxer training, train more properly to build up his cardio, so he has like a better foundation, better idea of what boxing is really about. It's not about just going out there winging away, being this all-out front runner, going for the knockout, and then getting winded out and calling timeouts and stepping out of the ring and throwing your arms up in the air after you only been fighting for half a minute to maybe a minute, and or maybe fighting a full round against somebody that's just really laid back, like that Krav Maga guy, and then acting like, oh yeah, I went the distance, I beat this guy. You know, you only went one round, you barely went a full round. You know, you're throwing your arms up in the air before the round was even over. You know, it was like a struggle to go full round. You know, that's not being a complete boxer. And you know, this guy Charlie Z calls himself the GOAT. You know, greatest of all time. You know, you can't be anything of a decent fighter if you're only going to be able to barely go one round. You got to at least be able to do 4 solid rounds, you know, to even be considered to be any kind of decent boxer. You know, you got to be able to do at least 4 3-minute rounds. You got to have your stamina built up at least to that extent, at least. I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere. And I mean, Charlie Z, man, he really needs to work on his stamina. He needs to run and bike and swim, you know, jump rope, whatever. Like, build up that stamina, because it's very weak, and you can't be anything of a decent fighter with such weak stamina. Just having water so I don't talk like a frog. Yeah, anyway, yeah, and also, you know, like I was starting to talk about, he needs to work, like get a regular job, you know, even if it's like pushing carts actually would be really good for, you know, building some basic core stamina, because you walk around a lot when you push carts for a store, you know, and you get a lot of walking exercise, and you're pushing all them carts, and you're going back and forth for hours on end. I mean, that's what Charlie Z needs, a job like that to build his basic core stamina, and like to realize what he really is, something to humble him, realize, you know, get him into the realms of reality instead of fantasy and delusions, and, you know, like people have said, delusions of grandeur and all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, Charlie Z, he tends to, like, regurgitate a lot of what people say. He just kind of copies and imitates, kind of like a parrot, you know. So you really got to take a better, more resourceful approach, I think. More productively minded approach, and just really get down, like, at where... kind of like, you know, what a professional would do. I mean, they would try to help the guy instead of just breaking him down like some kind of sergeant, you know, or a mean boss or something. You know, not everybody can respond to that. Not everybody is positively receptive to stuff like that. You know, sometimes you got to kind of be more understanding about the whole situation, you know. You know, even if deep down you really want to see somebody teach him a lesson in the ring, you know, but you gotta still look at the dude as a human being, and somebody that could probably actually become a much better human being, and even a much better boxer, even, you know, if he knew how to train right, you know, at least. And then, you know, technique and all that would come along with it as well. But this dude really needs to work on just basic core stamina, you know. So yeah, you know, pushing carts or stocking shelves, stuff like even that. I think the carts would be great for him though, because that builds a lot of stamina. I gotta cut it.